Ambassador Mahmoud Khaled Omembe. Abdul Nasser Sani, aka Buddha. Party Buana NDC party ana yara tezenche nezana dete adendi wien tizabamo bonso oda ina tigana za gombona kema president yanzambamo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wadala atiza president wadala tunoyam president kampana ati party la ile minister yang and Sara atuti tila iru hula diti deni wien dite nako alapote wina ebla kuti so zena oweka owa politi atuna za tentuna aporo ajera tiarte yelbeme tentuma tuma ateta chatba tumba so another owache
we are here, the chiefs and people of Nadowli, precisely the chiefs, we've been here for a long period of time, but patience really asks us to wait and to receive the message of our Excellency. His Excellency, Nadowli District was created in 1988, called Nadowli District. That in 2012, it was recreated and named Nadowli Keleu District. So Nadowli District has really enjoyed some of the benefits of the national cake in terms of development. But we just want to inform you that the district capital, if it were during the day and you pass it, you would think that it is just an advanced village somewhere. Because development is not all that appreciable in the district capital. And that is why we, on behalf of Nadowli, the chiefs, I stand on their behalf that to present to you that when you come into office 2021, we want to present these needs before you so that part of our concern will be addressed. I know we should have been holding a bigger this gathering somewhere around in a youth center, big enough to contain us. But we are here. So we have got a youth center that has been abandoned, and we want it to be reconstructed for us. Then Nadowli as a district capital, we are really fighting or trying to get a marketplace. We'll be able to locate a place for our daily market and then weekly market. But unfortunately, for the past almost 10-15 years, the infrastructure in that market in Nadowli here has really been abandoned. And when people go there during the rainy season, it is always a very unfortunate thing before us. So we need a help from that. Nadowli Keleu District, we have a major road that is even, I should say, more equally important than as the Nadowli Keleu Trunk Road, which is the Nadowli Kabo Nato Toko Road. And when you consider all the villages around that place, that is more or less the food basket of this our district. But unfortunately, that road is not developed. And more so, we have got a river. I'm going to pity my chief that will be living this night through that road, because the river is full of water, and we need a bridge over that river. So that is our concern again. So we really want accessibility of roads that will aid communication, because not only being the capital, we have the district hospital, and during the rain season it's always a problem for people over there to access the hospital facility. So they need your help in that direction. We are again talking about the district hospital, if we could get a nursing training college so that services to be given to that place. So all these, we are praying and hoping come 2021, it will really be in your blue book, so that we are by this opening up the district capital. And when the district capital is open, a lot of people, a lot of facility, a lot of job will be around. So for that matter, at the district hospital, If you get to the district hospital, Nadowli District Hospital, at times it's more or less like an advanced chief compound because it lacks a lot of facilities over there. We will be very grateful if we could get surgical male wards for our male and females, because we have a single ward male, single hall for female, but all the surgical and the medical, they stay together, which is really not the best. And we need a lot of expansion in the hospital. And for that matter, I'm very grateful my Honorable Sebastian Sandari is here. He ever worked there as our hospital, the doctor there. So we are lacking the staff as far as medical doctors are concerned, the Nadowli Hospital. And when we talk, they say the Upper West, we have a lot of doctors. We have trained a lot of doctors. But unfortunately, these, our doctors, are in Kumasi and Accra. And our people are really suffering when we get to our hospital. The facility is there, even though inadequate, but we don't have the requisite staff who is the medical doctor to attend to various ailments, especially surgical and a lot of gynecologists, all the GGs, all the oncologists. So we need a help from that, especially our medical doctors. So there are a lot, and we are a farming area. We farm granules, we farm beans, we farm a lot. We just need something we call a factory, so that we can always store these things, market them properly, to also give us income for us. My dear Excellency, I know before your arrival, you would have wished to meet the chiefs in a private corner. Unfortunately, we just want to sadly inform you that for the past 20 years, we are managing as far as leadership, the chieftaincy leadership in the Nadowli is concerned. If not, we would have been having a palace so that we'll get in there, because it is in the night. You might even pass the night here and go tomorrow, but we don't have. So when our problems are solved, we need support to rehabilitate our palace that is just over there. So, and I also, on behalf of my chiefs, next time you are coming here, come and meet us during the day, start the journey from us, and then get to work and sleep. Because we have been waiting. Last year or what time, my Honorable really apologized, and duly we have accepted that. But we just want to also say that next time, let's start here. Even if it is Charpon, it's Laura, and then you get down to work. If not, our tradition, we say, chiefs, we don't meet them in the night. But it is pressure that has really taken you to so far. So, on behalf of my chief, I want to say you are warmly welcome. For my brother Tony, that's my we own the Charpon together, and for my brother, we have been together. So we are very fortunate that I have a lot of friends. When I was in IPS, my campaign manager was teaching us economics. I mean, he might not know me. So thank you so much. So I yell at the Arena, let a boy yell at Nadowli me pisore, man about 20 Catamina abavla, so to yell at the hospital, yell a hospital pampana table tab, doctor. Tabata doctor, yell a baby, Tiaka ono wana, Kabato and Sonte, as Sonte, a cabo, and a bono banga. So only Wabache tor, so cha a minimum on that in the kult and being so the Ekat is a baraka to pour a president to be Yane Mina Male or Yeltarza. Thank you, may God bless us.
Yamoela. Yamanu Kuyamene. Nga atazira kaseka at the end Cizan Pong near 100 of years Lamambuaka flag bearer President John Dramani Mahama. President John Dramani Mahama on a ila Bunana Mina Yel na Kuyel and Yelna Nambuako Kabawate Sua Kwa January 7, 2021 Akotagada Yamanuko.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by expressing my appreciation to the chiefs and people of the Nadowli traditional area for your continued love, patience, and tolerance for us. I remember the last time I was here during the 2016 campaign. We arrived here at 3 a.m. and you still had the patience and tolerance to wait for us. Today we've come a bit earlier. I think it's about 9:30, It's 10 o'clock. And still you've had the patience and tolerance to wait for us. I promise you the next time we come to campaign in Upper West, we'll leave Wa and come to Nadowli first in the morning. Before we go anywhere else, so that we can see each other and interact with each other in the daytime. I want to thank Chief for his message. I've taken note of all the local issues, and like I said, governance is for you and I. It is our collective productivity that makes our nation prosper. It is the tax you pay, the tax I pay, and how we invest those taxes that brings about development. I don't build any school from the money in my pocket. All the development that took place when I was president was not money that I took out of my pocket. The schools we built, the hospitals we built, the roads we built, the CHIPS compounds, the polyclinics, the electricity, the water. All those things we took from the contributions that all of us make to the progress of this nation. And that is why our taxes must count for something. And so if a president and a government invest in development projects, we start a road, we start to build a clinic, we start to build a CHIPS compound, we start to build a hospital, we start to build a school, and we don't finish, and a new government comes. It must be like a relay race. That new government must take the baton and continue from where the old government left off. But when we have a situation where a new government comes and thinks that anything it continues and finishes from the old government will give credit to the previous government, then what progress can we make as a nation? It means that we will start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. All the countries that are advanced in this world did not develop based on a start-stop model. Government always continues. Today we just came from Dorimo. It's a big school block, community day school. It is roofed. It's just left with doors, windows, ceiling, painting, furniture, and children can start learning in that school. And yet today, if you go to that school, it's lizards and snakes that are learning in the school, not children. And the tragedy is that it's not my money that is wasted. It is our money that is wasting in that school. And that's why I say, I've not seen a situation where after 1992, projects handed over from one government have not been continued. Rawlings started some projects. Kufuor came, he continued. Mills came, he continued Kufuor's projects. I came after Professor Mills. I continued the projects Professor Mills was undertaking. But today I've gone around the whole country. If it is roads, where I left in 2017, the road has remained there. If it is schools, where we left it in 2017, the school has remained there. Hospitals, where we left it in 2017, the hospital has remained there. Electricity, you see poles, you see cables that were put there since 2016. 4 years on, the cables and the poles are still lying there. And that is why I'm saying we need to rescue this country. If you are running a relay race, you've done secondary school sports before. When you run and you give the baton to the next person continues running forward. And then he runs and gives it to the next person. And the person runs forward and gives it to the next person. And you run until you finish the race. But when you run and they give to the next person, he runs, he gives to the next person. Then Mahama takes the baton, you run, you give to Akufo-Addo. And instead of running forward, he starts running back. If you're Mahama, what will you do? You chase him to collect the baton from him and go back forward. Because this country is going backwards. I was president for 4 years. President Mills was president for 4 years, except God called him. 5 months of his term, I finished. By the time we left office in 2016, Ghana's total debt that we owed from Nkrumah's time until I left office was 122 billion. 122 billion. If you take the 122 billion, my period was 54 billion. When you go and borrow money, you don't consume it. You use it for production. You use it to build a house. You use it to extend your house. You use it to invest in your farm. You use it to buy a tractor. You use it for things that are tangible. So that tomorrow when your children ask you, Daddy, the money you borrowed, what did you use it for? You say, I bought a tractor. I bought a planter. I built this house. I extended the family house. Things that people can see that you used it for. 122 billion. Hand over to Akufo-Addo. 4 years. Today we owe 257 billion cedis. Almost 140 billion, 137 billion cedis borrowed in 4 years. The 54 billion I borrowed. If you ask me as a father, what did I use it for? I'll show you the Upper West Regional Hospital. I'll show you the E-blocks across the country. I'll show you Nkrumah Interchange. I'll show you Kotoka Airport. I'll show you Wa Airport. I'll show you Tamale Airport. I'll show you Afari Military Hospital. You can see that that money was not used for consumption. I'll show you Jambusi water system. I'll show you Wa Township roads. We'll show you concrete things that we have used that money for. But ask Nana Akufo-Addo, 137 billion cedis in 4 years. What have you done with the money? And when you ask them, wait, we need to educate ourselves. When you ask them, they say, oh, free SHS. Free SHS is not part of the debt. Free SHS is 3.6 billion Ghana cedis. That is what this government has spent on free SHS. And it was taken from our oil revenues. It is not part of the debt. So let's put free SHS aside. 137 billion cedis. What have you done with it? That is the question we must enter this election with. Because he is not going to pay it. If we follow the order of life, the path ahead of Akufo-Addo is shorter than all you young people. If you go to the market, you see a small goat skin and you see an old goat skin. Young people can die, I agree. But if the natural order is to be maintained, somebody who is 20 years old here is going to live maybe the next 50 years. I, at my age, I'm going to live shorter. Nana Akufo-Addo is going to live shorter. Because at his age, in the natural order of things, if everybody is going according to his age, he has a shorter time. No, I'm making a point. Because that debt, he is not going to pay it. Maybe I'm not going to pay it. It is you, our children, and our children's children who are going to pay that 140 billion cedis debt that has been accumulated in 4 years. And so the youth must take this seriously. As I speak, we introduced ESLA. They call it the Energy Sector Levy Act. It was supposed to accumulate money to pay for the energy debt. We designed ESLA to run for about 5 years. Today it has been extended and more money has been borrowed against it. So you expect that if more money has been borrowed against it, then the energy sector should have been paid down. Today, as I speak, the energy sector debt that we owe independent generators is almost $2 billion. And so the question is, what have you done with all that money? It was meant to pay energy sector debt. What have you done with the ESLA? It has been used for other things other than paying the energy sector debt. If we come into office and we're not able to do the things that we did under GET Fund, we provided dormitories, school blocks, in all secondary schools, administration blocks and all that. This government has come and mortgaged GET Fund and taking money to spend today from GET Fund. And And yet, after taking that money in our secondary schools, all the projects that we're doing have been abandoned. So the question is, what have you done with that money? These are legitimate questions we're asking this government. Government is not about propaganda. You can do propaganda and come into power, but you cannot use propaganda to stay in power. Because people are beginning to see through it. And when you talk, they say, your life is better. Today is your life better. People are struggling. This president has created more joblessness than he has created jobs. Can you imagine those who were working in the 9 banks, in the savings and loans companies, in the microfinance companies, in the fund management companies? Can you imagine all the people who are working in all the branches of these banks? Today, all those people are sitting at home. Some are roasting kebab, some are riding Okada, some are driving Uber, but those are the lucky ones. Some have died, lost their lives, kicked out of their houses because they cannot pay the rent. Look at the construction companies. All the companies that were working, employing drivers, excavator operators, laborers, all those who were working on the community day secondary schools, the women who were selling food to the workers, today they are all sitting at home. All of them are sitting at home, jobless. And then you come and say, oh, we've employed NAPCO, we're giving them 700 cedis a month. We're talking about sustainable jobs. You need to stimulate this economy so that people can have permanent jobs. Not jobs that will disappear overnight. And that is why I say we have a 1 million jobs plan. And that jobs plan is going to be jobs that are stimulated by the growth of the economy. If you put contractors back to work and they start working on the roads and the schools and everything, they immediately start employing people. Those are sustainable jobs. If you revitalize investment, Ghanaian investment in the financial sector, and they start opening branches of banks, all those people who are sitting at home who lost their jobs will suddenly be called to come back to work. And so we're talking about sustainable jobs. If we give our young people skills, they will open medium and small enterprises and employ people. I was in Peve and I went to a small shop, and the guy there is called Setoji. He's become my friend. He finished technical school and he came and set up a small container shop. Today he has 15 apprentices. He's teaching them how to sew and do dressmaking. If government assists this young man, he'll be able to assist more people to be able to set up their own businesses and also employ people in those businesses. Those are the jobs we're talking about. But I know that experience is the best teacher. And we all have experienced Nanado's administration. And so now we have a basis to compare. At the time we were in office, and they kept talking about incompetence, incompetence, incompetence. God has a way of doing his things. He said, NDC, go and sit down. Let them come and show their competence. Today, all of us can feel it. Life is hard. Whatever work you do, it is not going anywhere. Farmers are complaining. you cannot get market for your produce. And that is because people don't have money. If you have money, you will buy, you will go to the market and buy. But people don't have. And so you grow your corn, you grow your maize, you grow your yam, you grow your beans, and you go to the market and you will sit there. If you don't sell it at a low price and cut your losses and go back home, if you are not lucky, you will not even have transport money to go back. And when you have sold it and you are even coming home and you are not lucky, armed robbers will stop you on the way and steal the money from you. Because Ghana is no longer safe. Anywhere I've gone in Upper West region, I say, what are the issues? They say armed robbery every day. They take our money, they take our mobile phones. The little capital our mothers have to trade is being taken away from them. But there is hope. And that hope is on 7th December 2020. That all of us will come out in our numbers and vote so that we can vote for a government that will think about all Ghanaians and not only a few Ghanaians. Because this country belongs to all of us. Nobody is more Ghanaian than another. All of us, Dagaris, Walis, Gonjas, Ashantis, Ewes, Frantis, Nzimes, Tanjagas, we all are one people. And the opportunities of this country must be open to all of us, not just a few people. I went to US with John Kerry by my side, and we endorsed the Millennium Compact to pump American money into our energy sector and invite private participation. At the time we did it, NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo accused me that I was going to sell ECG. And I said, no, we're not going to sell ECG. We're bringing the private sector to participate so that we can collect the revenues better and bring efficiency into the energy sector. Apparently, they were waiting to lay hands on it. And so we left office and they took over. Everybody knows what happened with PDS. As I speak today, some of ECG's money is in PDS accounts. Hand over ECG's money back to them. It's been invested in a fixed deposit earning interest. Any interest for who? And that's why I say when we come, we will investigate all this. Because if the president will not investigate it, then he leaves it to another government to come and investigate. But corruption is something we all must deal with. You must not only wait to come and investigate the past government. If corruption is taking place under your presidency, you must investigate it too. And as for Japan, I don't want to talk about it again. Because we've had these royalties for God knows how many years. If you decide to monetize it and you want to bring private sector into it, you must ask us who own the gold royalties. You cannot go and take a few people, come up with an agreement, take it to parliament, bulldoze it through. The minority walk out, you don't care. And that's why I've said we will not accept it. Government must withdraw the Ijapa deal. And it's 3 months to an election. Why are you rushing to do an Ijapa deal? Leave it to the next government to handle. We will call all stakeholders together. We'll call the civil society organizations together. And all of us will decide what we want to do with our gold royalties. Because gold is a blessing from God. It has been given to us from Axim all the way to Boko. If you go into the ground, you find gold. And so we need to use it in such a way that it benefits all our people. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be president for all Ghanaians. And we will use the resources of this country to benefit all our people. And so, I want to thank you. I recognize that it's late in the night. There's this young man standing next to me. I have to introduce him to you. And before I do that, I want to thank my big brother, the Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, Honorable Alban Sumana Bagbe. Bagbe is my senior brother. We met in university. I was his junior, he was my senior. And again, we met in Parliament. And I told a story about how we came in as young MPs. We didn't know anything about parliamentary practice. But Honorable Alban and Co. had been there before us. So the first day we went to Parliament, the first few weeks, when you go to Parliament, there's something they call the back bench. You start from the back. You shout the yeah, yeah at the back. So one day, when we went, I was with Honorable, where is he? Joshua Labi. Joshua Labi was my colleague. Sylvester Benson. All of us, we went and started at the back. So if you heard yeah, yeah in 97, 2000, it was us at the back there. But Honorable Bagbe and Co. were on the front bench. And it was they who, when there's a debate, they'll get up. Mr. Speaker, point of order. According to Standing Order 2, Article 4, clause this thing, you cannot move this until this and this and this and that. And I looked at him and I said, hey, when will I also learn to be able to speak in Parliament like this? But if you are ready to learn, you will learn. And so we sat at the back there, we learned from them, they taught us how to speak in Parliament, how to debate, how to use the standing orders and all that. And eventually all of us became prolific parliamentarians and prolific debaters on the floor of Parliament. But as I've said, one generation moves on and hands over to the next. Nadowli Kalio, you've been lucky. Your name has been in the news. Nadowli Kalio, Nadowli Kalio, Nadowli Kalio. According to the honorable member for Nadowli Kalio, so an era has ended and the baton is being handed over to the next generation. And he will start on the back bench, but it is our hope that he will learn. And luckily, he's got a teacher in Honorable Bagbe. He's got a mentor and a teacher. And if he draws from his knowledge, he will quickly move from the back bench to the front bench. And so I'm going to introduce the parliamentary candidate for Nadowli Kalio constituency. And he is the one and only endorsed candidate for National Democratic Congress in Nadowli Kalio constituency. And let me say it again, the one and only endorsed candidate for Nadowli Kalio constituency on NDC ticket. So I'll raise his hand. You can all take pictures and show it to the world. That when I came to Nadowli Kalio, the official candidate for the National Democratic Congress is Anthony Menkara Suma. Anthony Ngmenkara Suma is our candidate. And so I know you will vote for me in the presidential, and it's my expectation that you will vote for him in the parliamentary, so that we will go and work together for you. I've taken note of all the issues you described as the issues. The social center, we started it. And so it's God's wish that we will come and finish it for you. If the social center was working, we won't be sitting here. We would have been in that social center. So it's in our interest to finish it, so that next time when I come as president, we will not gather in this open place. We'll go to the social center and go and meet there. So thank you very much. God richly bless you. I've taken note of all the other things you said. Let us win the election, and I know by the grace of God, NDC is going to win the election of 7th December 2020. And all that you have put before me, by God's grace, we shall fulfill them. God richly bless you.
Oh.